Hey guys, it's Kussi. Welcome back to already the 6th episode of Bricked Up Keybreakers. And this Zero to Hero.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Subbroke. In the last episode, we figured out that in order to deal with anger management, you need something to distract you and fuel that hatred towards the game instead of your party members, while actually timing a priority run. Imagine that. Then we learned that failure is not only part of this program, it's also extra painful whenever you are the one putting that ultimate nail in the coffin to break a key for absolutely zero score. And we learned that having nice vaults is only something for, well, everybody but me, while getting cooked, cucked, spooned and shafted all together in our first full myth vault. But today will be different. Sort of. Because if you think we make any progress on our way to 3k, boy, you are dead wrong. We are talking Brick City, Big Brick, El Deplito Grande, Bricos Ticos, der totale Brick, you get the point. With that being said, if you want to see your boy struggle in any kind of way possible, besides with the sexuality, I think, then make sure to leave a like, because it helps out the videos tremendously, and make sure to subscribe for my coming, for the road to 10,000 subbies, as we are so close. Yeah, thanks for nothing. Maybe it would have helped if you didn't die twice during the boss. Alright, so you already know I'm about to show you this entire Gambit run in just a second here. Though I'm not gonna lie, this started off a bit low in terms of the party's value towards item level. Those three heavily benefited from me getting tilted due to queue times, and so the core of the party was done. Add a CR to it and then send it. Unfortunately, my definition of sending it might be a different one, because this overall damage was not too bueno. And I'm not saying this because I'm on top, it's me included. This pack, even though we lost it, took forever. And at this point I already knew that this won't be a breeze. But here's what I don't understand. Why would you bring the Murloc mobs that get healed with the totem? You bring them into the tight area with the 4 guardians with an all melee party that often don't have a way to get to either the guardians or the totems. It's just not the play at all. On a full midi comp, I'd probably play the first 2 with the ads outside and then play the other 2 with the boss. But who am I? Just rewatching this footage triggers the shit out of me with all those commands that pretty much just say, go somewhere else.
Run. Attack totem. Watch your step. Run. Watch your step. Watch your run. Watch your step. Run.
The entire poll, including the beginning outside, took 7 minutes. 7 minutes! For essentially 2 polls just put together is way too much. Now, because we got another Gambit coming this episode, the spoilers, I'm just gonna tell you 15 deaths ain't it. Loot the shitty trinket nobody wants and then move on to the next one. Dawnbreaker 12 is what I got after suffering through a 10 holes in an attempt to get the key up. Woo! +2 rating, baby. At this point I take what I can get. And it's kind of unlucky if you consider that at this point I only got 2 12s timed and Dawn is one of them. But I can at least tell you it was a quick one. We zoomed through the first pack, got to the big pole on the boat with Bloodlust, had a full wipe and then awkwardly waited till enough time has passed to abandon that one. Wait, what? +10, 2 chests, and that leads us to Echo Dome. Now this dungeon that got included with Season 3 and the new area Karesh was taken with mixed feelings. Usually the WoW community doesn't like new dungeons, since it takes everybody 8 years to learn the old ones. But then again, it's just 3 bosses and it has some solid trinkets for both agility and intellect users, so people like doing them, some of them. What I personally don't like is all the jumping. My god, everything jumps in this bitch. But let's start in the beginning. I do enjoy the first trash lust angle on any dungeon. Lusting first pull is always so much more worth than lusting bosses. Though I was a bit concerned about that mage's damage, not gonna lie. Was it just another flavor of the month arcane? Or did he aim for something bigger?
I don't know, Jeff.
Yes, we will find out on the boss, cause usually they're pretty insane on boss damage, and that's why I invited him. Now, Azjika?
That's gotta be racist, there's no way.
Is arguably the most annoying boss in this dungeon. Not only does this thing look like those little worms that will swim up your pee hole, it also loves to consume. So what you have to do here as a party is stacking. Stacking will ensure those jumpy ads he summons will somewhat stay in place. Makes it easier. When you're targeted by the toxic regurgitation? What the fuck is that word? you have to move it away from the party, preferably spreading those puddles around the boss, not in melee range though. Very important, as they tick pretty heavy and you need to potentially move close to the boss during the intermission. Speaking of, during the Devour phase, it will summon 2 sets of 3 jumpies that are getting sucked in. No jumping this time, but if it succeeds, it will heal 5% of itself per mob and gain a 10% damage increase stack. So you want to get rid of them ASAP, because if you don't kill them off, he will just consume all of them in a Mia Khalifa mega suck. And then also make sure you are not getting sucked in. But then it's repeat. Yet the mage did exactly what he was supposed to do. God bless. Now it's fair to say that if you kill this thing without issues, the key is already cleared. Second boss is so straightforward, and it's the entire mechanic, jumping straight forward. When you get marked by the circle, stay close to the boss, but try to not clip anyone with it. Kill the spears, easy. Again, don't stack the spears. During the intermission, aim the face walker's dash through the boss, as it slowly breaks the shield by removing stacks. And then repeat, super simple. And after an absolute avalanche of trash, you get to the final boss. This one is pretty cool and reminds me of a raid boss a little bit. Mechanically wise, it gives me the same vibes as the candle boss in Darkflame Cleft. Interactive mechanics, and I love interactive mechanics. And during this one, you will constantly split little mirrors off of your party members and you in an attempt to attack them with spells, which then give you a dot, as well as some reduced haste I think. So to prevent that, you want to collect your mirrors instead. Now while that's pretty simple during both the daggers and the big circle, as it's just one, it gets a lot more fun during the second phase or intermission phase if you will. And there, you got 3. They not only stack, but also refresh the duration of the buff. So you don't want to just get them all at once, but rather one at a time. And you simply always collect the one that is currently into the cones of the boss. Because keep in mind, if the cone hits the mirror, you get a debuff. I never had 2 of them being in one cone, which is incredible, considering Blizzard coded this. So whoever did it, great job man. And that's that. Ecodome 12 in the bags. I can absolutely see how this one is going to be one of the easier ones as well in the 13 or 14 key level. But enough with the progress, I know why you're here. The truth is, I was very happy that my key became a Gambit 13. Again, Gambit technically is one of the easier ones, timer wise. So I think the sheer amount of time that dies during the final boss is often underestimated. Nonetheless, I had so many 2 chests on +10s before, so I'm positive. Now this gang packed a lot more heat than the one we had earlier. DK was not messing around, and I specifically wanted an elemental shaman, as we needed lust, as well as a range to potentially get more of the nasty guardian pull before the first boss. And because hunters suck donkey dicks. To compare here, we pulled the boss with 22:43 to go, and in the +12 we did earlier it was over a minute later. But Kussi, you said it's Brick City, why you showed your good dicks? Yeah, shut up, I get to that. You see, this run had one flaw. Just one.
It's you! It's you!
No, not me. Our tank making one misstep. During the Hooktail boss fight, our pink ranger, formation tank, got absolutely annihilated. I mean, dusted. Completely cooked. Sent to Narnia. I'm talking one-way ticket. He got completely flushed by this dragon's breath one should avoid. And we couldn't rest him because he gone. Now with that being said, besides our resident storm meter, the rest was optimistic that we still got time. I mean it's 2 bosses and 3 trash pulls, so technically there's room. Though that gets even harder if there's 3 people dying in the trash. Unstable rift going off, see you later. And even then, with almost 5 minutes on the clock and the last spent, this looked doable. Or even more specific, 2:30 for phase 2. However, now obviously I just showed you those 2 deaths by the shaman for the purpose of joking. I won't blame him and I don't blame the tank either for the white beard earlier. Not at all. It happens man, it's an honest mistake. A brain fart if you will. I'm sure he done this 100 times and never got hit before. Disregarding, I personally thought it's hilarious that the shaman died twice during the final phase where nothing is happening and you only have to dodge those flying dicks, and was even dead at the end of the run. And then he said, thanks for nothing, like it's everybody else's fault. If he lived that, we would have finished it in time for sure. So again, my overall DPS was ass, so who am I to shit talk? Gotta improve that first before I can be a prick about it.
And that's a fact.
Maybe this little weird tortilla mount will help me with it. So what else have I been up to? Well, I can tell you, clapping some sweet alliance cheeks in my free time. Yeah, sit down you little night elf, tree hugging, homeless AFK being a bitch. Hey, hold up, what is this? Turkish 1v1? But besides all of the above, I'm just very unlucky with the keys. From the Gambit I got an Echo Dome. I did that on 10 with the Gold 2 chested. Cool. Priory. Unlucky. Fortunately, I eventually ended up with a Horse 13. Now here was the problem I had. Just before I did this key, I saw all the changes that are being sent towards Halls. 10% less trash, the shard pulls get a lot easier, and some stuff gives more percentage to compensate. Fantastic! But I had the key now. So what does one do when he's a pain addict, always in search for some self-inflicted harm? In a video game, he's looking for people for pain. To play. Now I want you to pay good attention now, because if you blink, you might miss. Oh, you missed it. That's it. GG. Go next. But what happened? I got weak. That's what happened. This BM hunter. What you don't know is, Harry Jamal is actually Latin and means as much as release spirit. Because that was what he was doing the entire run. Little bro died twice. Twice! In the 13 to the ground effects. As a BM hunter. You know, those guys that don't have any cast can just wiggle around in 40-yard range while playing their full rotation. That was crazy. And the only reason I invited this dude because he was duo queuing with the healer. This man is lucky he got a friend who carries him into keys so he can be Captain Brick himself. Never again. I swear it, today, no more BM hunters. Harry Jamal has proven me right again. If you're unhappy about me never inviting BM hunters again, until this channel dies, say thanks Harry in the comments. Now, but of course I still got the 12, just hours before reset. This one started off a lot smoother, no deaths, clean execution, healer kicking, a lot actually, until we had that one loyal beast go through. 3 of us kicked the same Houndmaster and the other one finished the cast, and then we caved in. Now this was on the unfortunate side of things, because those overlaps are bound to happen during pack groups. And yes, rewatching this, of course we could have done so many things to stop it, but in the heat of the moment, you know, it's different. But a full wipe on this dungeon is almost a resignation ladder. Tough timer, way too much trash, but we wanted to continue. I personally wouldn't mind the training, especially the second boss, when it comes to pressing buttons and cooldown management for the ads. However, we didn't get to that. And hey, keep in mind, it's almost 1 AM, 2 hours before reset, before the nerfs, which means I gave up. However, one thing I need to tell you. There were a lot of keys I did, and I didn't show you those because they were just fillers to get back up to 12, or those were keys that I already done on 12. Between the last time we got rating in Echo Dome and now, it's been around 4 hours of recording. So I decided to take a breath, accept defeat, live to fight another day as they say. And with that, I mean I quickly did some last minute normal raid to kill Fractilis and get at least 2 chances for the Nether Prism in the vault. Speaking of, after weeks of fat, veiny, bricked cockage in the vault, surely today is the day. Surely. Who the fuck is this goblin dick?